Two informed teams on a thrilling Thursday. What more can you ask for? I'm talking about Rajasthan versus Gujarat. And guess who we have to preview it all with us? Our beloved Dirk Nannes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Avnish Hegde. There is, of course, a chance to win a goodie bag in this video if you pay attention. But let's get Dirk Nannes up on the show, because this game is a very hard one to call. Dirk, how are you first and foremost, and how much are you looking forward to this clash?
I'm fantastically well, and this is really starting to become the time in the tournament where you really start to sort the men out from the boys, when you're starting to really work out where teams are in the competition. You know, you have a little win streak at the start or a couple of losses at the start, but starting to get to that middle stage of the tournament now where you're starting to really sort out what the teams are and whether they're any good or not. And this game will really tell, I think, as to whether either of these two teams are really well credentialed to go high up in the tournament towards the end.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because these are the only two teams left in the competition who can actually bag 4 out of 5 in their first 5 games. Speaking of RR first, because the last time they found themselves in this position, they've always qualified for the playoffs. Do you think history can repeat itself, Dirk?
I think so. I think there's still a few challenges they have. Hetmeyer's got the best average. Butler's doing really well at the top of the order, but you know they're not being fantastic. Padikal hasn't nailed his spot, averaging mid-20s and only striking at 120. You need more out of him. Samson averaging mid-20s, but good strike rate. I'm happy with that. There's still a few kind of holes, and not necessarily holes, but people haven't really started nailing innings or long stretches of innings together. Likewise with the ball, Ashwin only taking 1 wicket for the tournament. That's a concern for me. He's got a great economy rate, he always does, but you still need him chipping away with wickets, and he hasn't done that yet. Only 1 wicket across 4 games. That's probably not enough, and no one really has nailed that 5th bowler spot. And I think that's the case across a lot of the teams in the competition. The 5th bowler really is being highlighted because it's gone from 8 to 10 teams in the competition. You're stretching it a little bit, and if there's any injury at all, that 5th bowler gets highlighted, and no one has really nailed that for Rajasthan. So perhaps that's a little chink in the armour. So I think on form at the moment, I think, yes, they can go all the way, but there's still a few question marks.
All right. I mean, you mentioned 3 men there at the top of your analysis in terms of the RR. Butler, Samson, and of course Hetmeyer, right? Now they're going to be coming up against Rashid Khan. They've always thrived in spin in 2022, but how do you think that will go on? Because the numbers suggest that Rashid has kind of been doing really well against them. I'll kind of give you those numbers. Butler's been dismissed 4 times and averages just 4.5. Sanju Samson has been timid, scoring 68 at less than run a ball. And Shemron Hetmeyer has been dismissed 4 times by the Afghan and averages 14.3. If you're a Royals fan, you're not looking good at these numbers, are you?
I'm bowling Rashid Khan to Joss Butler, that's for sure. I think sometimes we can overanalyze, but it's starting to get to the point with a couple of those there, particularly Hetmeyer and Butler, that's becoming a problem. But they would know that internally. They'd try and work out a way to face him. I don't think it's necessarily a case of just trying to play him out. I think T20 cricket has gone past the point of just playing bowlers out like they would have done in the past. I think you've still got to try and be a little bit attacking to him. But I think that there will be some trepidation from those 3 in particular as to how to play him. And I'll be really interested. I think a lot of the game will rest on how they play Rashid Khan and really look at the wickets column for Rashid Khan. If he can take a couple of wickets, then I think that there's some big problems for RR.
Okay, I mean, let's move on to Gujarat Titans, because they're in the similar boat as Rajasthan Royals, 3 out of the first 4 wins. But in all 4 games, the weak link, like you mentioned, is a 5th and 6th bowler. Is there a case for someone like a Dominic Drakes to come in to replace David Miller, maybe also take out Ridhaman Saha and bring in Alzari Joseph? These are the potential options. How do you think they will chop and change going into this one, Dirk?
Look, I think Miller is in a little bit of trouble. Not trouble. He's batting 5. He's only striking at 123. So what really is he bringing at the moment? Again, only 4 games into the competition, I'm reluctant to change things around too much. They're on a winning 3-1. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about having Miller in the middle of the order. And then who are you bringing in for? You bring in Drakes. Drakes is a left arm medium who goes at 9.5 and over. Are you kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul a little bit there? I don't think it's necessarily a real compelling case to say, you know what, things are drastically wrong, we have to make massive changes. Yes, again, haven't nailed down the 5th spot. Kanda hasn't been fantastic in the few games that he's played. Tawachi got tapped up in the last game. They're both going at over 10s. And that's a concern, but I'm not alarmed enough to think, right, make wholesale changes. Maybe that comes in a couple of games, or at least when you've lost a couple on the trot, and they haven't done that yet.
Okay, because it brings me to my next question then about the middle overs and whether this phase will dictate the outcome of the game eventually. You look at Gujarat Titans, and they actually are one of the worst teams in terms of econ in that phase between 7 and 15 overs. But then on the contrary, you have someone like Rajasthan Royals who absolutely thrive in that phase. Do you think it's going to be super important to see who wins that battle amongst the war, if you like?
I reckon that's exactly where it's going to be won and lost. I think that's exactly where a lot of the push and shove is going to happen, particularly when we know early on in an innings the ball's swinging around at the moment. When the ball starts getting tired, how can teams pounce on that?
Yeah,
and that is the middle orders. Everyone's been able to pump them over the fence at the end when the ball gets soft, but it's the middle overs, I think, that where these games are won and lost. And how aggressive can you be? I think Gujarat, the key to them is to win that period. And they have, let's face it, they haven't been great during those middle periods.
Will they kind of hold Rashid back in that phase, or like you said, probably attack him early on with Jos Buttler on the power play? That's a tactical call that they need to make, right?
That is a tactical call. Look, I'd love to see him at least get one at Jos Buttler right from the get-go. Maybe not over one, but certainly in the first 6, I'd like to see him get one. And then try and capitalise on that middle battle. Because again, you've got these fast bowlers up front who want to swing with the new ball. You've got to give them that opportunity while the ball's still fresh and the ball's still going to be swinging around. So I don't think it's right to think Jos Buttler averaging 4 against Rashid Khan, so we're just going to bowl Rashid to him. You can't do that. You have to play each player where they're suited, and I think Rashid Khan's going to bowl in the middle. So maybe one at the top, yes, but then the rest I think are going to be in the middle and the later part of the innings.
Okay, let's see how that trickles on, because like Dirk said, it could really dictate the game. We have to move on to our segment, which is the CDC fan cam, and we have a Rajasthan Royals supporter in Nikunj asking Dirk this question.
Hi Dirk, my question is, should RR stick to 6 specialist batsmen and 5 bowler strategy, or this combination might backfire them in future?
I don't think it'll backfire. I firmly believe, and I've always said it, that bowling teams will get you to the finals. Pick your 5 best bowlers. If there's an all-rounder who happens to be in your 5 best bowlers, fantastic, pick them. But don't try and chop and change and try and get cute. Pick your 5 best bowlers, go with them, stick with them, trust them. They're going to make it to the final. And then, whatever 6 batsmen come out of that is fine. But I just think it's fraught when teams try and get too cute, or try and pick 2 or 3 all-rounders who are going to give you a little bit here, a little bit there. I don't think that's the way to do it. I think the trick is to pick your 5.
Okay, and if you guys want to get involved in the CDC fan cam scheme of things, let us know in the description on the comments below, of course, to that email ID that we normally put out, and then you can feature in the next show. Let's end this by asking Dirk his predictions, but before that, as always, it's Mr. Milestone.
I want to know who needs 4 catches to reach the milestone of 100 catches in T20 cricket.
Yep, you can let us know in the comments below and stand a chance to win a goodie bag. And with that, it's prediction time. Now, Dirk, of course, hasn't seen too much of RR this season, but nevertheless, we love to put him on the spot. Will it be the Royals or will it be the Titans in this heavyweight clash?
I'm going to go the Royals. Oh, no!
It's fine. It's all part of the thing. You said Royals and maybe that was a jinx over there, but are you sticking...
Well, maybe it means that my predictions are going to go the other way around. I'm actually going to start predicting properly.
I mean, it's all part of modern day television and digital streams, I guess. But Dirk Nannes, thank you so much for your time. We'll leave it there and subscribe to the YouTube channel for all you guys watching from wherever you are. There's plenty of cricket coming soon.